African Americans had moved from the rural South to the industrial North in search of jobs in manufacturing, in industry. And they were living in Harlem, and they had absentee landlords who were charging too much rent. They couldn't pay the rent, so it started to invite people over to their homes for a party. And the friends would donate some money at the door, and that money would go towards paying the rent. So there's poverty partying. And that culture carried on through to the point when David arrived in New York in 1962. And his favorite form of socializing was in these rent parties. They were primarily black parties, but it wasn't exclusive. David just loved the intimacy. You could form a community. Because it was in someone's home, you could relax. No one was ripping you off. So the Loft, the party that he started in 1970, different forms of partying before then in his loft. He moved into his loft in 1965. Then he started to have like more dance-oriented parties, and he got a DJ from this kind of bar restaurant with a bit of a discotheque, if you like, called Max's Kansas City. He teamed up with the DJ from there and another guy, and they ran a party called Coalition in David's loft. But it never quite worked. And it was in February 1970, David brought all these things together, the rent party with a private invite. So this is the beginning of a party that became known as the Loft. It was not a club. It was not a club. It was not a club or a discotheque. Discotheques are licensed. You have to sell alcohol, and you have to close at a certain time of the night. These laws were introduced during the Prohibition era, the cabaret license. They were very repressive. When I met David for the first time in 1997, unquestionably he was the poorest person I'd ever met.
The Psychedelic.